Well, look who's been sacked again, bro. It's happened again. Fenerbahce part ways with Jose Mourinho as Portuguese head coach won't continue at the club. The decision has been made after missing on qualification to Champions League. Um, so when does this idea that this guy is the greatest manager of all time, when does that stop, bro? When does it become acceptable to just maybe think this guy isn't as good as these people have been saying he is? Because for the past few years, I've been force fed this idea that he is one of the greatest managers of all time, that he's better than Pep Guardiola. Don't look at the past 10 years where he's been sacked by every club. Go back to 20 years ago where he won the Champions League with Porto. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah, like I guess Ranieri is the greatest Premier League manager of all time because he won the Prem with Leicester, right? That's literally everything these people talk about, bro. All they talk about is Porto, Porto, Porto. Pep Guardiola can never do it with Porto, bro. Pep Guardiola can never get sacked 4 times in a row. Pep Guardiola can never get ran out of fucking England, bro. Pep Guardiola will never just completely get left behind by the sport, bro. Pep Guardiola's tactics will never get aged out, bro. Because that's what happened to Jose Mourinho, bro. His shit worked for 10 years. Once people realized they can how to play against him, he just has never found a system to work since, bro. And thank God, because he was the most boring manager of all time. People talk about how they hate terrorist football, how they hate low blocks. This guy was the fucking OG of that shit, bro. He was the king of that shit. Most boring, most dirty, aggressive, ruthless, fucking disgusting way to play the sport, bro. No beauty was on the field when this guy was a manager, bro. His whole mission at Madrid was to just completely stamp out the beauty of what football was at Barcelona. Um, he made things a lot more aggressive than they had to be. He was just a complete fucking menace to the sport, a terrorist to this beauty that we call football, bro. And people, like, they tricked themselves into believing they would have actually liked this guy, bro, just because he had some good quotes and he's a somewhat, like, funny guy, bro. Besides that, he was not a good manager. He was not an exciting manager. You would not like to watch this guy's clubs win every week in and week out, bro. Thank fuck his system does not work because you guys would not like that shit, bro. No matter how much you guys want to tell yourself you would not like how he plays nowadays, bro. Honestly, this is a good thing for the sport. And the thing is, bro, this was supposed to be the perfect place for him. He's not in a place where it's super hard. He's not in a league where he'll have a lot of pressure, but he will be in a league that he has a big fan base. He has a historic club in Fenerbahce. He had a club that the fans would get behind him, that the players would get behind him. He had a club where he had the fucking iron grip like this, where he could get them. He could do this thing where he becomes this cult of personality, where he can become the head of everything. And he had that there, bro. And even then, he still couldn't do what he wanted to do, bro. No trophies, no Champions League. And he just off his name alone, he was able to bring some talented players, and even then he still wasn't able to win shit, bro. Overrated manager, most overrated manager in the history of the sport by far. We're lucky his style doesn't work in the modern day because it would be a fucking drag to get through, bro. I'm fucking sick of this, bro. Pep Guardiola is 10 times the manager he is. Pep Guardiola never got ran out of the sport, bro. Just saying. Just saying. Porto 20 years ago was pretty impressive, bro, but that was a one-time thing. He was good. He was a good manager for about 7 years, bro. After he left Madrid, he became normal, bro. And then that's it, bro. That's it. Jose Mourinho has now been sacked by each of his last 4 clubs. Again, what all-timer manager is doing this, bro? Like, we can't only look at the good things and then just forget all the bad. Last 10 years, every club he's been sacked by, bro. 10 years in a row. He had 10 good years, 10 bad ones, bro. We have to look at that shit, bro. You can't just ignore that, bro. And, look, bro, it just seems like a United manager reunion. Besiktas announced that they fired manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, like, if I'm a United fan, bro, I'm taking him back there, bro. The club's only gotten worse since he got sacked. Well, how much worse can it get other than getting relegated? But, you know, What's the point of going back to things like that? And last thing, Xavi Simons to Tottenham. Here we go. All signed between Spurs and RB Leipzig. Fee worth £60 million. Fixed after agreement revealed overnight. Xavi has completed his medical and his contract is also now signed. Contract until 2030 plus 2-year option. I mean, we knew that they were looking for this kind of signing after Eze decided to go to Arsenal. This is good for them. Obviously, they were looking at Fermin a little bit as well, to my knowledge. Um, yeah, bro. This is also good for us because it forces Chelsea to make the Fermin signing because they do want an attacking midfielder. They do want that position because they were looking at Siemens too. Tottenham getting this forces them to make the decision on Fermin if they really want him or not. There's been more news about that Fermin won't go for under 30 million, and he's been talking about how he doesn't want to leave. So I trust that. I believe that. I don't think the Fermin thing will happen. Fermin will not be leaving the club this summer. There's not really much to worry about that. More on this signing. Yeah, Xavi Simons, he's a good player, bro. I've only seen a couple of highlight shits, so we'll see how good he is actually in the Prem when he has some actual pressure to play well. We'll see, bro. Former Barca player. Don't ever say that we're not the best club in the history of the sport, bro. We create talent like it's nothing. Uh, we are just incomparable. Yeah. And also just the Premier League buying power is just insane, bro. All the big clubs, they just completely revamped their squads, bro. Even if they didn't finish well, like Tottenham finished 16th or 17th place, and they made like a few hundred, like they made a few signings, bro. I don't know how they do that shit. But yeah, Tottenham themselves have like outspent La Liga, the whole league. Yeah, whatever. Good for them that they just have this much buying power and nobody else can do anything about it. I mean, it says right here, Fabrizio Romano. I'm not sure if Fermin wants to leave Barcelona. I don't think this is gonna happen. I don't think there's much fear on this happening. Obviously, there was a bit of a scare a few days ago when the news came out that he had talked to Maresca twice, and Chelsea were thinking about putting offers up, and you know how desperate the club is for money. People were thinking that we were gonna sell him, including me. I thought it was over. But it doesn't seem like that, bro. They're asking for like upward 90 million, which I don't think clubs are gonna pay for Fermin Lopez, considering he doesn't even start for us, and they don't know too much about the player. So I think we're good. Fermin will stay. You guys know I genuinely believe he's one of the best attacking midfielders on the planet if you give him the chance. Um, so yeah, bro. Very very happy about this news. He will be a Barca player, bro. Uh, More news for La Liga, which is good news for Real Betis and for Antony. Manchester United have accepted a bid from Real Betis for the permanent transfer of Antony. He's been giving permission to travel to Spain. I'm wondering how much money it is, considering they're not even like specifying how much Betis are paying them. But yeah, good for Betis, good for you, Antony. You know, Betis have really grown fond of the player, and Antony is leaving that club where everybody cannot perform no matter how good they are. Nobody's good at United. They show levels before and after United, but never at the club. And yeah, good for him, bro. Good for him. He seemed happy at Betis, and he really wanted this move, so he gets what he wants. And last thing, not surprising at all, Barca's transfer window is officially closed. No more incoming or departures. The squad is set for the 25-26 season. There was news that Hansi Flick wanted another center back. He's not going to get that. There was news that Lopez and a few more players were going to get shipped out. And Casado were going to get shipped out. Nope, that's not going to happen either. How I feel about the squad, bro. Offensively, I think we're one of the best teams in the world. In midfield, we're one of the best teams in the world. We are so fucking stacked in the midfield, bro. We have Fermin, Danny Olmo, just because, Frankie De Jong, Pedri, Gavi, Casado, Bernal, bro. We have seven high level midfielders besides Danny Olmo. We have seven high, and even if one of the attacking midfielders get injured or any of them get injured, we have Dro waiting on the sidelines. Pedro, the 17-year-old, we have him there. And then offensively, we have Rafinha, Rashford, Yamal, Lewandowski, Ferran. and Rooney if we're able to get him registered at some point. Um, then defensively, we have, and this is where I'm a bit worried. We have Gerard Martin, Araujo, Christensen, Koundé, Kubarsi, Balde, Eric Garcia. Now, in terms of like fullbacks, I'm not worried. I trust in Balde and I trust in Koundé and I trust in Garcia. It's just that center back spot, bro. The Kubarsi and Araujo, I'm worried about. I'd rather start Christensen over one of them. Um, Kubarsi on the ball is decent, but off the ball he's weak. He gets pushed around. Araujo on the ball he's scary. He's nervous. He doesn't have good touches, and in big games he shits himself. He does too much sometimes. Um, Gerard Martin is obviously the worst Barca player that has ever played in a Barca shirt. So there is some worry in the defense, obviously, but offensively and in the midfield, bro, I think we're the best team on the planet. Just I don't know. I think we will have the same problem as last season, as in we get scored on too much, and the fact we don't have Inigo to help out a bit is gonna be it's gonna make it a bit worse. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm decently happy with the squad, and I'm still confident that we will win the treble. But yeah, we'll be all right, bro.